Today's postcard is from one of Britain's foremost universities, but what I didn't know is that Oxford University is really a conglomeration of 36 colleges, all very different, but all with academic or athletic prowess. And the one our postcard is franked with today is Christchurch College. Do I call you Peter or do I call you Perce?
Anything you like.
Right, we'll call him Perce. It's actually Peter Percival.
Peter Paul Patrick Percival.
Oh, it's all those P's. Yeah. Right, so you're a P artist, is basically.
Absolutely right.
Tell me about this college. There's so many colleges. I'm already confused by Oxford.
It's the largest college in Oxford, and it's quite unique in as much as it's the only college in the world with a cathedral right plonk in the middle of the whole scene. And the reason that it's there is because it was a foundation by St Frieswide in 727. The whole college, of course, was a dual foundation. One was for theology, of course, and one was for academia. And it was founded by Cardinal Wolsey, who, of course, was the most powerful man in the land during the reign of Henry VIII.
And Henry VIII kept taking things off cardinals, like Hampton Court, didn't he?
Well, Henry VIII sort of fell out with Cardinal Wolsey on the basis that he wouldn't give him a divorce.
From Catherine of Aragon?
Absolutely right. And you now stood in the quadrangle, which was completed in 1660. Originally, it was going to be cloistered, as you can see, round the whole of the quadrangle, the archways.
Yeah.
Of course, Henry VIII, during the conflict with Wolsey, decided not to continue with the project. However, in 1546, he re-established it as King's College, and then he decided, as head of the faith, he would call it Christchurch,
so it
the
went
House
from
of Christ.
Cardinal's College to King's College to the present-day name, Christchurch. And this is very famous, this clock tower.
Tom
Is it
Tower.
a clock tower?
Tom Tower.
Tom
Yes.
Tower.
This was designed by Christopher Wren. It was completed in 1681. And the top part of that tower was completed in 1 year. And you've got to remember, Russell, at those times, there's no scaffolding, there was no cranes. All that masonry was put up there in 1 year. And that's a lead top roof. And the bell inside was stolen from Osney Abbey. It's called Old Tom. It weighs 7.5 tons, and it strikes 101 times every evening at 5 minutes past 9.
Everyone's going to be late round here.
No, because the story from Alice in Wonderland, I'm late for a very important day,
No
by
time
the
to
rabbit.
say goodbye, hello, goodbye. Yes.
That's not true, because this is Christchurch time, and Christchurch time, of course, is on the meridian 5 minutes past Greenwich. Now, Greenwich time was only introduced because of the railways. And the reason it strikes 101 times at 5 minutes past 9 is for the simple reason the original construction of the college was because they would have 100 students from the aristocracy and 1 commoner.
Right. Well, Perce, I think we're going to stick with you. Let's stick with Perce. He knows what he's doing. One thing I want to ask everybody out there is, what would we have done without Sir Christopher Wren? It seems everywhere we go, he has built something. We'll ponder on that, Perce.
Absolutely.
There's a P for you, ponder. We'll follow
Another
him now.
P.
That's an F. Right. We're on our way to the Great Hall. But Russ, don't look down, look up at this fine fan-vaulted roof, completed in 1640. Very nice. We're in a really big, great hall at the moment, and something tells me Perce knows a bit about this.
Yes, Russell, this in fact, although it's used now as a dining room for the students, this in fact was a room used by Charles I when he was routed by Oliver Cromwell in the 1600s as his parliament room. And of course, the large quadrangle that you saw previous was where all the cattle and food was stored, because this was indeed his fortress.
By Tom Tower that was, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
And And here you see is where Charles I held his court.
Where was his throne? At the other end?
In actual fact, it was at the side of that fireplace there that you see on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And he used to have a seat there.
Keep looking up at that splendid hammer beam roof. And that's Lewis Carroll, author of Alice in Wonderland, otherwise known as maths tutor and Reverend Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, a great friend of Dean Little, father of Alice in Wonderland fame. You know, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party takes place here every year. I think they're ready for another one very soon by the looks of it. Let's take a stroll through the rear entrance of Christchurch. Oh, look at the Virginia creeper on that. Oh, lovely. You know, I think we'll wend our way down to the river, past one of those dreaming spires Oxford is so famous for. Oh, it's so leisurely, so serene, so silky. That's what it feels like, silky. I feel as though I'm gliding. Gliding along a little rivulet of silk. I'm on the River Cherwell, which feeds into the Thames. And I've seen punting before, you know, but I've seen it happen in Cambridge. Now, in Oxford, you have to say the other place. A bit like, I'm just getting confirmation there, everybody, from Tim at the back, my punter. You have to call Cambridge the other place. Obviously, Oxford and Cambridge is like Yorkshire and Lancashire. They don't like each other very much. Or shall we say it's an old rivalry? Anyway, it's just right. I really do feel a little bit of England here for all of you. If you've not tried, first time I've punted, you know, quintessentially English. And when Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland, you know, the very first time he read the stories to anybody, it was on a punt. He read them to a punting party. I'm not going to read you anything. I'm just going to lie back and think of England.